Good evening. How are we all? We got Fabiano and Gaspard. Good evening. How's it going? How's my sound? This is my first attempt, and I'm going to try and fix some bugs this evening on my game. I'm aware that there is some lag. I've watched streams. I've just never done this, and I'm moderately terrified. So let's remind ourselves on what I'm doing this evening, which will be this ticket here. For some reason, I have completely broken the ability to turn the Clomper. So I really don't know how I've managed to do that. But let's get it up and running, and let's see if I can work out why it won't turn. So this is how I pretty much do all of my dev. I've got a console down at the bottom here. I have a search bar, which is always very good for jumping around larger projects. I've got the hierarchy and the project, they sometimes live together. And then I have a debug window up there. So how's things going over in the chat? Hey, thank you very much, and glad the sound is good. And hi, Blackwit, how's it going? So here we are, we're in the game. You see what you see in the player on the left hand side, and you may be thinking, hey Rob, there's no menus there, and you'd be right, because I've not coded any menus. So, but that's not really necessary for testing. I'm just doing the simplest thing that works, and I know it's pretty complicated. So let's try and turn the Clomper. I'm going to do a shortcut to load in all the pipes, and magically I've got this pipe network that's just appeared behind me. Now this default pipe network has a bit of an issue in that all of the boilers are set quite high, so I find they blow up if I don't reduce them just a touch. We're going to be watching that heat meter there, and we're going to be hopefully watching the speed go. So, loads more people in the chat. Hi Michael. Wannabe, it's good to see you. Yeah, I'm streaming, completely terrified. So the way in which this works is I've got a whole bunch of pipes set up, and this is just one way of doing it. You've got 1,000 ways of doing it, and I've got the main feed, all the boilers are joined together, and I've got this main pipe that runs over the top here, and then it comes down this line here, and then I can switch it off to run the legs on one side or the legs on the other. And what I'm hoping is that when I turn these two valves on, the steam will come down here, down this side, and power that leg, and that leg. And then the Clomper will start turning, and we'll know the Clomper will turn because this compass in the middle will turn, and then over on the right hand side here we'll see the little Clomper. There he is in the big scary terrifying world. It's spawned me right in front of a crevasse. I can't believe that. This is complete land. Charles, good to see you. Skepples, Nicholas, loads of lovely people. Welcome. So yeah, this is going to go horrendously well. I'm really glad Charles is here, because here's someone I know in real life, and he will mock me in WhatsApp given half the chance. So now we're going to try and turn the Clomper by turning on. We've got enough steam, so let's give this a, and I have a feeling that it doesn't turn. I mean, you can see here the legs are going, so they're all chomping up and down, very nice, but the Clomper itself, not so much. It's not going anywhere, is it? That's the bug. The way I like to track my bugs. Hi Pandraman, good to see you. The way I like to track my bugs is inside GitHub, and this is a GitHub project. It's very much like any normal Kanban. You have a to-do list, you have what you're doing and what you've done, and you can see that I've got quite a lot done in this particular release. And I'm currently at 453 different issues, which is quite a lot if you think about it. So we can't turn the Clomper, that's the bug. I actually found this bug while I was recording my last video, which was nice, because I was trying to set something up to explain something, and it just wouldn't turn. So let's go and have a look at the code that does that. This isn't a setup. I honestly have got no idea right now why it won't turn. So it's how should we do this? Should we attach the debugger? I hope the code's vaguely readable on your screen. I I'm old and my eyes don't work properly, so I don't really mind how big it is. It works for me. I'm looking at the little preview window there. That looks all right. You could probably just about read that. Righty. So this is the fixed update inside the Clomper proxy. The Clomper proxy is a script attached to this thing here, which is the thing that actually moves around the real world. The bit that the players are in, I don't know if any of you have seen behind the curtain before. If I zoom out like this and come down underneath the world, this little tiny thing down here, that is where the players are running around inside of. There you go. So that's the bit that you run around inside of, but that's not what actually moves through the world. I did try having that thing moving around the world, but multiplayer physics plus lots of moving bodies within moving bodies, friction, it got nasty fast. So let's go back up to the Clomper. So this is called the proxy, which is the thing that actually wanders around the world. You never get to see it in the game, so it's not too much of an issue. So let's stick a breakpoint in. I like interactive debugging, so I'm going to get Visual Studio. I'm still using the last version, 2019, is it? I can't remember. The one previous to the current one. We use the current one at work. But I'm just still using this one because I haven't been bothered to update it. And here we go, we're in fixed update, so it's landed on this bit. Now what I'm expecting is this Euler rotation to be more than nothing. And it is nothing at the moment, which is interesting. Let's just go back and have, oh no, I can't look at the game yet because I'm still in breakpoint mode. So are we turning? Yes, we should be turning. The legs are still moving. We can see that on the animation. So coming in here, there should be some kind of rotation in Y. And I'm going to check out, Tom, it's good to see you. I hope that's the real Tom and not the artificial intelligence pretending to be Tom. And hello, Aaron, good to see you. Thanks for coming. And Remzi. Right, so Euler rotation in Y. Now the reason I call it Euler rotation is because trying to separate things from calling stuff, anything to do with quaternions and Euler rotations. If you get them mixed up, then you get in a bit of a pickle, to say the least. So where is this set? I haven't seen this bit of code in a while, so this could be nasty. So the Euler rotation is Y set at the top. Oh, and I notice here I'm doing a serialized field with read only, so this should actually be visible over in the inspector. So if we come over to, this is the Clomper proxy script. There's lots of numbers in here, but I've got some debug stuff over there, and you can see it's Euler rotation in Y. It's very faint and it's probably tiny on the rubbish upload speed that I've got, but that says 0.2. Okay, so this should be set somewhere. So let's have a look at all the references. Let's see where it's set. And it's set in here. Oh no, that's not where it's set, that's where it's used. It's set in here. Okay, so set leg speed. This is not called every frame, so that's good. So this set leg speed down at the bottom here is what should be setting the Euler rotation. And having a quick eyeball at that, that should be all right. Left speed minus right speed, that's the speed of the left legs, minus the speed of the right legs, times just a parameter that allows you to speed up the turning. Oh, is that always 0? I wonder. Well, now the leg speed will only be checked if we change the steam in some way. We don't want to check the speed on every single frame. That would be too costly, so we only do it when we change the steam. So I've just changed the amount of steam going through the system, so now it works out how fast all the legs should go. Yeah, and thanks very much, Skiffles, you're right. Tom, the simplest bot is to say, I am real. Thanks, Tom. It's good to see you. Lovely to see so many people. So, why is this not working? So my left speed is 0, and my right speed is 12. Okay, so that's cool. That's what I should expect. Well, that would explain it. If this might be the simplest bug ever to begin with. So my leg speed, so this parameter here is 0. Well, this should be a simple parameter set in the UI, and it's not. So, what? Did I rename something? This is terrible because I'm one for renaming stuff a lot. But dear old Unity, the way it links things up, it doesn't really understand code. This boiler's shaking quite a lot. might go bang. Right, okay, so let's pop over here onto the right hand side. Now I know I'm about to, there we go, it's 0. I'm about to make an edit while the game is running, so this edit will be lost. So that's another Unity gotcha. That catches me out. Now, I'm not sure what this value should be. Let's just give it a value and see what happens. No, is that not moving me? Am I not moved? That's still not moving me. That's funny. I would have thought that would move me. Let's have another look at that breakpoint. So hit the breakpoint. Oh, change. This here. Change it. There's a problem with first-person games is you've got to get rid of a captive pointer. There we go. Right. Righty. Okay. So now we have an Euler rotation in Y. That should be set to something very, very large. Excellent. Ah, of course. Yeah. Okay. I understand what's happening there. So when I know, is that spinning too fast? What do you think? The map. I love it. The map looks like a disco floor from the 70s. Do people say disco anymore? I mean, is that even a thing? I don't know. But that's sort of working now. Like, it's spinning so fast that the lag behind the map isn't keeping up. But I'm impressed with the new Artificial Horizon. That is spinning at the same speed. Oh, it is you're right, Skeffels. It's a spinny boy. It's not quite right. Right. So what we'll need to do is I'll need to adjust the parameter a touch. 100 was probably, so we'll drop it down. I know you're all digging the spinny. To be fair, I find it fun, but on the same time, it's rather difficult to control. So Tom once had a bug with my boats, which made them spin just like that. Yeah. Oh, and you made your own multiplayer system, sir. So you have bugs that I can't even begin to dream of. So, so we've reduced the parameters. This should drop it down by 10, which I think is probably still too much. So this is full steam, and if we stop it, okay, so it is now working, but that's a bit too much, though. I mean, yeah, that's a bit over the top. If we pop that on, let's have a look outside. Yeah, I mean, controlling this. Oh, that is going to make me feel ill if I carry on with that. Yeah, let's drop it down a bit more. Let's drop it in high. Yeah, look at this. Look at the map go. Yeah, let's drop it down. Let's drop it down to 2. We're going to have to remember whatever the number is because it will just get lost. And then we'll change the steam so it accepts the new value. Yeah, that's still too much. That's still too much. I remember roughly what it looked like beforehand. Oh, yes, a little thing I keep clicking up here at the top is a Unity editor window. It's a little custom component. It's not a lot of code, but my goodness, it's very useful because I quite often, you'll see me click onto the map by accident and select the wrong object. And then if I go and click the proxy, what it actually does is click not the proxy itself, but the mesh of the proxy when I want the parent object. So to do away with all that, I just have a button that selects the Clomper proxy. There's only ever one of them in the scene. Makes life a lot easier. Little things make you code your tools, and you'll go a lot faster. So there we go. I've updated that. Let's just change the steam. Okay, that's all right, but that's still a bit fast because don't forget we are not quite at full power. So let's drop it down. Let's drop it down. I could go back and look through the code and see if I can work out what the original value was. We're coming down now. There we go. How are we turning now? That's more like it was. That's a bit closer. I mean, it's still pretty scary trying to drive the Clomper like this. Let's have it down just a little bit more. And yes, and then I watched a stream, you can say. I watched a stream where I saw a bearded man change numbers for an hour. There we go. That's game tuning for you. Right. Now I know this looks really slow, but it is. Oh, if I do this, I will blow it up. We're currently at 0.35. And let's turn all the boilers up. and let's turn some stuff off as well. So now we're turning a bit faster because the leg speeds are going. This side's still off, which is what we want. Let's see how fast that is looking outside. One of these is going to go bang. It would make me jump, but I've muted the sound. See, that's a bit better. Right, let's go down. How are we doing for heat? Problem is with the heat mechanic is I put this in and I forgot. Ah, hello Emilio. Thank you very much. That's very, very kind. And yes, Skeffles, I appreciate that the kids don't say disco anymore. More called quarantine video party. I think we've all had one of those. As you can see here, the boiler heat is climbing up, but pretty slowly. Let's drop it down. Let's say that you're a cautious player and you have all of your boilers down nice and low. Or maybe you're early in the game and you haven't repaired them all just yet. Right, and then how slow are we turning now? That's all right, that's fine. I think 0.35 might be, oh yeah, I think this is okay. All the animations look good. Okay, so now let's see if we can turn the other way and make sure I haven't broken it in the other direction. Now the legs on the left are turning and we're turning the other direction, I think. Yeah, so now we want, let's say we want to go south. That turns to the south. Excellent, that looks like it's working. It's quite interesting that the artificial horizon is matching, is turning as well. Okay, cool. So that's the first. Let's just get those numbers baked in. 0.35. There we go. Can't believe that's all it was. I was expecting, having broken something much more insane. Let's. So I've made a change, and I'm going to come in. Oh, I'm still connected here. And now I'm going to come in here. Go to Git status. What's my search settings? Is that user settings? Interesting. Unity has given me some search settings there. Cool. And I'm going to commit this, and I'm going to say, what's a good way of describing this? Repaired turning. I know this is very difficult for you to see, but I'm just committing this in. Okay, who we got in the chat? Jaleko, good to see you. I'm currently making a board game. Scrawlhide, wow, that's cool. Oh, it's good to chill. Well, I hope it is. It is chill. It's good to see that you're working. I do the same thing with other people too. And Kimberly, good to see you. Oh, am I a sight for your sore eyes, Bargy? I'll get some Optrex or some beer. I mean, both work. And Git commits. Yeah, this is how I commit. I would not recommend anyone commit code in this way. It's just that I'm old and this is the way I've always done it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write something meaningful so that when I come back to this in the future, I'll understand why I made a certain change. Repaired turning by setting coefficient, because it's a parameter, by setting coefficient of leg speed to Euler velocity. Cool. And then a little bit of a GitHub trick, if I write fixes, I know this is a slightly long commit message, so I'm a bit naughty. If I do fixes and the number, which is 453, or we can zoom in, just remembered, 453, and then that will, and that's committed locally, and then I push it up to the top, and then we can see some magic where Git will move the ticket for me, if I haven't messed it up, obviously. Cool. So now I can turn the Clomper. That doesn't mean that I'm finished with this little piece of work. I want to test a little bit first. And the best way to test is to mess about a bit. So I'm going to be doing that. And hello all. Ah, Cyberharaniero, good to see you. Yeah, it is a git commit with a -m. Thank you, Aaron. That's what I do. Yeah. Jellico, you're right. I do like UIs. I really do. I'm not against the GitHub UI. If I wrote a video on how to use GitHub, and I use the GitHub UI, and also like UIs when I'm understanding branching. But it's just quicker for me. Not when I'm streaming. I'm normally faster than that. So here we come in. Evil Matt, when we played before, he complained that the menus were rubbish, which of course they are, they're just non-existent. So let's load my standard pipe network in, and let's just check and see if, oh yeah, before I wander off into a crevasse, let's just reduce these boilers a little bit, because if they sit up on their red line there, then they will eventually get too hot. Oh, I've just fallen in the pit. Oh, that happens quite a lot. Righty. It's also weird that I'm using my keyboard to move around. Normally I have my gamepad, but it's a little bit out of the way at the moment. Super. Let's go and see if we can get up a ramp. Now, of course, I'm cheating because I'm looking outside of the Clomper on the right hand side, whereas if you were playing the game, you'd only see what's on the left hand side of Unity in the actual game window. There we go. So we've got more debugging. Yeah, what have we got? Oh, auto ticket moving. That's cool. Yes, it is Skittles. Very much like it. I don't have columns like in test and in dev here, but at work we do. But we don't use automatic ticket moving there because we find that it can get a bit out of hand if you're not expecting a ticket. Why is that? Oh, what's going on here? I can't move. That's weird. Wow, for some reason it lost focus almost. Okay, so we're going to do a turn, and I'm going to try. Oh, there we go. It's done it again. Going to do a turn, probably about. If I go onto that conveyor, I will shoot off probably. There we go. Look at that. That's a perfect turn. No, it's not. I turned too early. Oh, this is going to be bad. Fine, it's a good test though. Let's get us up that ramp. Haven't been able to test ramps in a while, so I've no idea if they still work. Oh, I'm expecting one of the legs to freak out. Yeah, see that freaking out on the right hand side? That's showing us that the leg isn't connecting with the ground, which is actually correct. That's what it should do. There we go. So now we're on a ramp. So let's just try turning on the ramp. Now the artificial horizon isn't showing the right thing, because if we just stop it there, it's not quite right. So I've spotted that already. I already have a bug for that one. But if you look at that, you can see that artificial horizon is pointing up and down to left like that. Just realised I've got a camera, and it should be showing us more sky than ground, not on the side. Let's read some comments. Titan Lord of Peace, good to see you. Never got into GitHub. As long as you get into some source control, it doesn't really matter. But please save your code. Jacko, looking at this game makes me want to have a ladybug as a boss. That'd be interesting. It would be miraculous, even. Bargy, famous last words. Yes, yeah, I completely agree. Doc Frankenstein, good to see you. Nice developer console. Did you use reflection or big switch every command? For the other one, I use lots of separate methods. So that's slightly different. I can show you the code in that in a minute. Destus Games, good to see you. Yeah, Bargy is a bit of a legend. Very glad he's here. I like to get all of the celebrities in, obviously. I pay them, but it's nice that they're here. Jurushi, how's it going? I feel like I crash all the time. Yeah, you do crash quite a lot, but when you're working with friends, it's not so bad. Do you think I'll add enemies to this game? Oh, that's a good question. In a sense, Scrawlhive, the environment itself is your enemy, and your own impatience and your own wacky pipe networks. As an antagonist that's trying to kill you, I've got some ideas, but I'm not really aiming for that just yet. So we'll see. At the moment, that would be feature creep. I'm trying to create this game as a kind of a chill game, one that you can do at your own pace. And I also want to put in lots of accessibility. So for those people who find it difficult to play games, I want to give them the option to play it slow speed. So no enemies just yet, but this is a bug, and if we pop over to GitHub, you'll see artificial horizon doesn't seem to take into account Clomper rotation. So I know this one is not quite right. I think what this is probably a local rotation, global rotation problem. Anyway, we're going up the ramp, which is nice, but I want to check that we can rotate on the ramp, but the rotation code still works. So we're going to go going to go nice and close, not further away, and we're going to make sure it's rotating in line with the ramp and it's not lifting off. You see there is a gap there. There needs to be a gap because you need to imagine legs. You would never see this playing the game. But yes, if you're going to imagine some legs there, legging away, this looks like it's all right. That's not so weird. Right, the next thing to test then is let's go and see if we can get, let's get onto a conveyor, roller conveyor. These are new, and as soon as we get on it, I'm going to start turning, but we are going to shoot off in a direction of another crevasse, which is nice. Right, no, not quite. So we're going to go. Oh, have I broken roller conveyors? I've broken the roller conveyors. Oh no, I switched them off. It's fine. Okay, let's go and switch those back on again. Yeah. So that looks like it's working, but I did switch off the roller conveyors. Now the roller conveyors are a separate line, and the reason I switched them off is because I was trying to work out why I couldn't turn, and then I had the hilarious flying through the air bug, which was to do with my PID controller. Let's just check the comments. Yeah, environmental hazards, that's it. Lots of evil one. Titan Lord of Pizza, the player is their own enemy. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I guess you have to get, so Cyber Habanero says, guess you have to get the Steam system working first in the game before you can upgrade to deal with enemies. Yes, yeah, that's quite right. And having somewhere interesting to explore, I think everybody agreed was the right thing to do. I'm getting a bit croaky, which is not good for those using me as ASMR. Destus, I completely agree that good enemies and environment stuff would be pitfalls. Absolutely. So the players would but I don't want I want enemies to be kind of coming at the player necessarily. And yeah, it is low. Bargy is a fictional character created by the one and only Danny. Everyone is created by Danny. Every single game dev YouTuber. They're all created by Danny. In a time machine. So Jaleko, how quick would one be able to learn Unity with a broad understanding of C#, no experience with 3D game engines, let alone Unity? How quick? Well, I followed the Learn Unity tutorials and I got quite a long way through just by doing those. So if you know some C#, certainly go a lot quicker. Right, let's see if doing that fixes the roller conveyor. I think it probably will. Right, the Milk Gang is in. Veluted Beret, lovely to see you. Welcome. Right, we are just testing some changes that I'd made and then forgotten about. Right, cheat mode in some pipes. Just in case you're wondering, the way in which you would normally start off in an empty game like this, like completely empty, is you come up and you go, right, I'm going to put some pipes down, and you lay your own pipes in whatever way you wish. However, if I was to do that every time I'm trying to test something, it would take me forever. I can't remember how to clear pipes. If I just there's a command for clearing pipes. What is it? Oh, maybe I'll just load them in and be fine. It'll be fine. So I've just loaded some pipes in, like a game save state. There's no best way. In fact, the way I've got these pipes set up probably isn't great, because if you stick this handle to the right, you turn to the left, which would be very confusing to most people. Let's get clomping along. And we're clomping along. I'm so desperate to add more flair into the game, such as sparks coming off these gears when they interact with each other, and steam as it pushes up and down. But all of that is a distraction to getting the thing working. And there's the Clomper. Am I going to go in the hole? This. Should I steer around it, or should I just go into it? I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to fall in the hole? Is the box collider just large enough to go over that little gap? I don't know. I think. Oh, that was lucky. Was there any damage done? No damage done. Oh, look at that. that was somewhat lucky. Let's just turn to the side a little bit. Right, now we're aiming for this roller conveyor to make sure it works. Oh dear. Clomper racing. That's an interesting idea, Skeffels. Clomper versus has been a thing that people have definitely asked for. Oh yeah, so that's working, but it's very slow, isn't it? That's very slow. I think I know why this is slow. This is slow because recently I changed some code that adjusted how the Clomper was moving. So the fixing the flying through the air bug has actually made our conveyors a bit on the slow side. Yeah. So where on earth is that set? So conveyor speed, and conveyor speed is in the conveyor effect, which is on the Clomper. So it'll be down here. So cheat mode engaged. Whee! Oh, am I still moving? I shouldn't still be moving. Oh, did I not leave the collider? That's interesting. Well, that's something else to check in a moment. So roller conveyor, conveyor speed. Let's bang it up a bit. Not enough. I want them to go faster than that. Oh, I've capped it. That was clever of me. Oh, and I just caught it before something blew up as well. So if we put the conveyor speed now up to 1500, and it would never be as low as 100. So let's do it somewhere in that range there. Compiling. What's going on over here? So, Michael Brewster, good to see you. I've been trying to implement wave function collapse for a uni project. Your videos have been a lifesaver. Well, that's very kind. Thank you very much. I'm delighted that you found it useful. I did those a while back, and I find it difficult to remember myself. Managed to get it working finally today. Oh, well done. Although it could do with some optimization. Oh yeah, as algorithms go, it's horrendous. From an optimization point of view, it's nasty. I mean, it's quadratic in O, definitely. Perhaps even cubic in O. But as you can see from my world, although it's dynamically generated and it's infinite over a plane, any one time it doesn't generate a lot because you can't see very far in the Clomper. You've got I've got two discs, I've got two circles here. The blue one is as far as you can see looking through the periscope, and the white one is how far you can see on the map. That tells you how far the map goes. So as long as the world generates just outside the map, I don't need any more than that. So, oh yeah, I love a bit of cheat mode at Destus. Will Clomper be able to walk on walls? Yeah, that's a very good question, because of course it's a ladybug, isn't it? And ladybugs notably can walk on walls. Let's zoom in and switch off those gizmos, and this time I'm just going to cheat mode myself sideways a little bit so we don't hit that hole again, and let's bring ourselves forward so I can test this conveyor, and then let's get us onto the conveyor. Half speed, Mr. Sulu. Or 90 degrees services. It's a great idea. It's not something I'm planning. I like the idea of being able to ram in. It's a ladybug in design, but in design only. Right, conveyor speed. Ooh, that's a bit more like it. Oh, what have I just moved? Unity. And then we've left the collider, and now we're just clomping along normally. Let's put us back again. Let's get us on, and then let's switch off our legs. So now we're just being moved by the conveyor. That's still a bit slow, isn't it, for being moved by the conveyor? A bit more oomph. Maybe even more than 1500? I mean, that's just like normal speed. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the range, because that's not helping us here, because I want to stick any numbers in that I want to stick in. Need to hydrate. Who else we got? Cyber having you. God always cheats. This one does. I'd be a terrible god. I'm so fickle. Cyber, how long have you been on that Clomper now? 2 years? Yeah, two and a half years now. But don't forget, I only do 1 hour at a time, 4 times a week. I used to get more time in the early days because of school arrangements being different for the kids. But now I'm surprised I haven't been interrupted by a small person, because she's chaosing downstairs at the moment. You're also making a Monster Hunter 2D platform, the Squirrel Hive. And you want a ladybug in it now? Well, go for it. They're not really threatening. That's why I chose the ladybug, is because it's an unthreatening. It's kind of a nice thing, and I wanted it to be, although it's mechanical, it's sort of a nice mechanical thing. Whereas spiders, they can be very triggering, and other smaller things. I mean, they're cute, aren't they, ladybugs? Am I the only one who thinks this? Let me know in the chat. Do you think ladybugs are sweet? I think they are. I think they're kind of nice. I'm sorry if you come from a place where ladybugs are deadly. They're not in the UK. Nothing is deadly in the UK. Not animals, anyway. I mean, there's plenty of deadly things. Sarcasm is pretty deadly in the UK. So let's clomp our way onto this conveyor and let's mess with the numbers. I wish it was a longer conveyor, actually. It's a bit disappointing. Right. So now we're clomping on it. It's still down at 4,000. Let's take up to 2,000. Here we go. Now we're getting it. 2,500. Bit more. 3,000. More power. Okay, I'm just going to bring it on back. It's going to come off the conveyor and it should come to a halt. Boff. Excellent. And let's just pop it onto this conveyor again. It's coming to the conclude at 3,000. 3,000 is pretty good. Okay, 3,000 is nice. I get that. But what does more look like? Okay, let's stick in 30,000, shall we? Let's see what a power of 10 does to this. Hey Reiko, good to see you. Sorry if I'm pronouncing your name. How detailed we make the map, as detailed as it is now. I've missed some of the comments here. My goodness. No, I haven't. That's it. How detailed we make the map. Yes, as detailed as it is now. This is as detailed as you get. You're going to see some other little things on it. So if you see, if you're doing a quest, then the quest mark will pop onto it. I do that now, but I haven't tested that in a while, so it may be broken and the whole thing will fall over. Yeah, a giant ladybug as a boss would be pretty cool. I agree, Jacko, that'd be awesome. Titan Lord of Pizza. Ladybugs eat other bugs, as I recall. Ah, okay. I didn't know that. Perhaps they do. I mean, they're insects. Insects eat all sorts of things. I thought they ate leaves, but never mind. I don't know. You'd think I'd know more, given I've been doing this for two and a half years, wouldn't you? I think the term ladybug makes it sound less sweet than ladybird. I agree, Skeffles. I'm now conflicted. Oh, here we go. Look, my Clomper's overheating. I feel somewhat conflicted between the two. Okay, and they eat aphids. Oh, that's good. Well, that's probably a good thing to eat. Cyber, you're quite right. I've spent the day fighting with Docker containers, and so actually just coding and messing around in a complete fantasy world is actually pretty good. I'm quite happy to do that. So I think we, in the UK we call them ladybugs, although now I'm not so sure because I've been calling them ladybirds. Ladybird. I can't even remember. What do we call them? Whee! 30,000 is good. What about 300,000? So I'm just testing numbers here for the... Oh, it will come to halt pretty quickly, but will it come to the halt? This is now a conveyor speed of 300,000. If there was an award for getting very close to the edge of a crevasse without going in it, I think I might have just won it there. Okay. So in a way that is now working, but I need it about 3,000, I think is the correct level. And then this will be finished. And the reason that I'm setting it 3,000 is because the the legs of the Clomper are working backwards. So if you say to the Clomper, I want to go at stop, I want to be all stop, then the legs will, the imaginary legs will move such that it will try and keep it at a halt. So that's, they can only go so fast. I don't think flatland works anymore. So select the Clomper proxy, press F. Cool, so I think 3000 was about right. Super. How long have I been streaming for? 42 minutes. That's astounding. Okay. This was only supposed to be a test stream. I wasn't expecting it to actually do anything productive. Right, okay, so we're now setting this to 3000. That's about right. So even if I stop, I reckon that's right. Cool. I'm gonna, for fun, because I love this, I'm gonna make some stuff blow up. Now, part of me would unmute the audio, but I don't know how loud is that. Can you hear the rumbling? I know, probably it's quite loud. And loads going on in the chat. I think we say ladybug down south, Skeffels. I just can't remember. Ladybird, ladybug. No, I think we say ladybird. I don't remember. What, am I English? I can't remember. Can eat ladybirds can eat caterpillars. They're savages. My goodness. I never would have thought they could eat caterpillars. That's horrendous. I wish I had named after ladybirds now. They're nightmares. Yeah, Michael, the Docker containers are complicated, and you can get something building on your local machine. It doesn't build inside the container, and you've got no idea why. It's crazy. You want to see it get launched into a pit, Titan Lord of Pizza? Well, I shall try and do that very shortly. Great to have you on board, Skeffels. Thank you very much for my first stream. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, Jellico, I'm with you. I don't know how anyone manages to be useful. Something's going to go bang in a minute, and I apologise if this is going to be super loud in your ears. Whoa, hello. Yeah, that's what happens if you don't pay attention. It still makes me laugh. I'm so simple. Right, okay, so now I'm happy with that 3000 in the conveyor speed down there, so let's get that committed. Make sure we're saved. Control S all the time. Git status. Search the main Unity and roller conveyor. Oh yes, so we changed the roller conveyor effect there because we needed to switch it back on. That was that line there. And then main Unity. I like also just checking out my old Git changes in here, just make sure I'm not doing anything silly. It's late. That's right, we took off the range there, that's fine, and we uncommented that switched it back on. And in Unity you can see that the conveyor speed went up from 436 to 3000, that's good. Let's add all of that. And I don't have a bug for this, so I will commit one without it. Git commit. Switching back on and roller conveyors. I hope my keyboard isn't too loud. Can't spell. And I'm not attaching it to a ticket because there isn't one. Cool. That's the second thing done this evening. Excellent. Now we're going to have a quick go at this one. So this is just a comment card here at the moment. This one here is just a comment, so you can add those in really quickly like notes. But I prefer to track things as tickets, so I'm going to convert it to an issue. I think that's enough information for me. I don't need to add anything more into there. I'll come over to this side. I assign from the huge team of developers that I have working on this, which is just me. And then I'm going to, this is a bug, definitely a bug. Something very wrong with this. And then a milestone is environment number 4. It's the 4th version of environment. So who else have we got going on in here? Lovely. Got so many viewers and likes. Thank you so much. If you like this nonsense, then hit subscribe. I might do it again. Lovely. So I'm going to move this one over into in progress because that's what I'm going to do. Sadly, that's not automated. And let's pop back in and we'll just take this as our last thing to do tonight. So to describe the bug, if I run up the app, it's easy to see it if it's actually running. Ooh. Now, initially, of course, all of the dials are switched off, and so we can switch them on by loading some pipes in, and then they iris out. Oh, that just makes me so happy. The way that switches on and off. I don't think there's an easy way to see this, unfortunately, but it just makes me so happy to see it move on and off. Right. So we'll make sure we're clamped in. We're going to switch off the proxy damage, so I don't want to accidentally damage the Clomper, because then everything will fly all over the place, which is a bit annoying. Okay, so that is correct. So the artificial horizon, which is this ball here with the sky and the ground, is showing what the Clomper would be seeing if you imagine that there was a window in the front, and no, I'm not putting windows in the front. So if you imagine a window on the front, it would see, if you were tilting to the left, then the horizon would be to the left. To the right? Is that entirely backwards? It might be backwards. Yeah, I know, I used to fly planes. You'd think I know which way around this went. So if you tilted to the, then the horizon should go in the other direction. It's actually completely wrong. At Titan Order Pizza, frankly, the size of the team working on Clomp at the moment is completely unmanageable. I have to have words with them on a regular occasion. Just today, I had to tell them to stop panicking and just try streaming, for example. Emilio, oh my goodness, on my only stream, you spent 40 minutes debugging a wrong directory address. Oh, paths are awful, aren't they? They're just dreadful. Oh, I feel for you, sir. Will you stream again? It's actually not as bad as I was expecting it to be. Right. Oh, I've still got delete pipe on. That would be a dangerous thing to do. So, also, all the boilers are running hot, so let's just turn them down again. I really should change that. My default save is just a bit dangerous. Right, we'll turn those back down again. Now, that is wrong. That is wrong, though. So it shouldn't... Okay, but the thing that is definitely wrong, the bug as it's written at the moment, is that if I now turn up the ramp, as you can see, the artificial horizon isn't changing, and really it should, which means I'm using the wrong transform rotation. Yeah, very much the wrong one. Oh, let's not go up the ramp, let's just stop. Lovely. Okay, all that, and you can see there another little feature that's come out recently. The map tile that the Clomper sits on will move up as you move up into the higher world. Right. Okay. So where is that set? Where's that bit of code? This is where having a large project is a bit of a pain. So the way I organise my stuff is I've got two bits. I've got the Clomper itself, which is the bit with the players running around in, and the proxy, and I've got a bunch of fire sprites that really need to be parented, but that's for another day. Then I have in here all the different pieces of, that's the body, I don't care, and I have the con, and the con is this bit here, and inside here there will be a artificial horizon. It's at the bottom because it's the latest thing I put in. So in here there should be a script. There is a script. Look at that. Right, so it's got stow and close on it, but it's not actually setting anything. That's, so hang on a minute, there's a diff, let's get rid of that. Okay, so it's not that script. Maybe there's a script on the ball. That's the sort of thing I would do. Gyro ball, look at that, it has a script on the ball. So there's some stow and show, which are the methods for hiding it, but there's this one here. Okay. Right, well that's probably, what is the, what, shouldn't that be right? So if the Clomper is, this is a terrible idea right now because I'm trying to debug something that's essentially three-dimensional mathematics when I'm quite tired. This is, if you wanted to keep up your energy, don't do this. Don't do what I'm doing. Oh, hang on a minute. Look, the heat's flashing at me. It's probably all right. Jerusalem, hello Rob. How you doing? How many bugs out there? Loads of bugs. Fixed 2 this evening, 3-ish, and I'm now on to my last one. And Can Burke, yes, you made it onto the first stream, and I'm still terrified. So, is that heat needle increasing? Marginally, we'll be all right. The reason I'm worried about this is that if this heat needle continues to carry on up into the top here, then something will go bang. Which one of these boilers is hot? Which one of you? You're flashing, there you go. You know what? I should be able to see that from back here. Can I see that? Oh, the pipe's in the way. I see, because of the way I've arranged my pipes, I can't see the heat meters. So there are 2 of them that are flashing. Yeah, these are the kind of decisions that you would make as a player. How you set your pipes up. I've just done them simply. They go straight up into the roof. But that means that you can't see the heat. So that's not necessary. If you ran them all flat along the floor, you'd probably be able to see them more easily from the map. So, okay, so we want to see about this horizon. So at the moment the horizon that's the z-axis of the Clomper. So the rotation? So it's matching the rotation. So is that? Should we just? I mean, I'm tempted just to change the code and see what happens. So our 2 rotations that we've got are the local rotation, and what I'm doing here, you see, I've got actually a singleton for the Clomper, so there's only ever going to be one of them, and I think I can make that. Is this the best time to fix it? No, this is a terrible time, Lord Titan. Ah, Zach, how's it going? Great to see you. I am indeed streaming, only for a little while longer. Okay, so the transform rotation should be probably the inverse of the rotation. Oh, I can't do a minus because it's a quaternion. Well, let me invert it. Oh, is this quaternion inverse? Probably quaternion inverse. I don't know why they did this. This sort of stuff annoys me at API building. I should be able to chain stuff together, right? So that quaternion needs inverse, right? So I should be able to go inverse, right? Because that would allow me to then chain stuff, and I could go inverse, and then I could set rotation. Oh, is that actually going to work? Oh no. Or is it just lost the type, so it doesn't know? See, it won't let me do that. It's just API design. It's really hard, but that's annoying. So I have to pass in something into a static method on here, which is, it's upsetting. And Unity's reset, that's good. And if we pop it up again, grab this. Oh, yeah, the spawning is very awful. that's gonna have to change. It's gonna have to change before anyone that isn't a broken friend of mine will play it. Oh, right, okay, there we go. So we're on the angle. So let's load the pipes in. Oh, there it goes. There's that artificial horizon. It's so nice. Yeah, I think it is backwards. Is that still wrong? That might still be wrong. Or is the local rotation still the wrong one? Oh no, this is a bit better. This is a bit better. Okay, so it is wrong, but it's wrong in a better way. So if you're looking up the ramp, you should see more sky, more blue, and less ground green. And of course, hellscapes don't have green ground, so it's quite reasonable for you to suggest that it's a terrible idea. Oh, Matt, Evil Matt. For those who don't know, Matt Warrener, also known as Evil Matt, is the Matt from my playtesting that complained about the menus. And there's still no hats. See, that's what you get with this early access nonsense. Well, thanks, Matt. Glad you could come. Thanks for popping in. I know it's a bit of a funny time of day for you. I hope you're enjoying your lunch. Burke, you are absolutely right. I could write the inverse as an extension. And it would annoy me. And one day, if I get to the point where I'm doing it so often that I would do that. You're absolutely right. However, it seems like that's not a decision for me to make. That's the Unity API builder's decision to make. And I just think it's a wrong decision. But that's me able to say that. I suppose if it's a static method, you could pass in a null, but why would you be passing in a null on a struct anyway? That would be bonkers. Okay, so it should be local rotation, but it shouldn't actually be inverted. So let's bin that. This is what some people used to call push it off a cliff coding, and push it off a cliff coding was really an insult. It was a way of saying that if developers, software developers, would be car designers, they would spend their life pushing cars off cliffs to see if they fell, because of course you can make changes without destroying anything. Super. Right, let's grab this again. Let's just pause the simulation so we don't accidentally take too much damage. I think we will end up taking a bit of damage because, yeah, I wonder what happens if I force it to clip. That's not something I've ever done. So now it's, I still think that's not right. It still looks weird to me. Okay, let's just make it turn so it's facing uphill. Hopefully we're going to see more sky than ground. No, there we go. Oh, is that working? I'm dubious. No, it's not. I'm honestly beginning to think that I'm not able to do quaternions anymore, or even just basic rotation. I thought the inverse quaternion. So that's local. So the local and the global rotation are the same. That kind of makes sense because it's not. The Clomper proxy is a top level object against main, so your local rotation and your global rotation would be the same. But I don't understand why the horizon isn't rotating, because this is a rotation. So if I wanged a cube in here, so if I just wang in 3D object cube, stick a cube in, it's a bit small. It's a bit small because of course the scale is massive on the world. And let's make the Y a bit shorter so we can see what direction it's in, and let's make the X bit certain. There we go. Let's make the Y even shorter than that. There we go. So here we go, take that. And for this rotation, the position's fine. And then for the rotation, we're going to copy the rotation of this. So we're going to minus 28. This is not the best way of doing this, but it will hopefully, right. Wait, what? Okay, fair enough. I'm going to keep going. Is this because I've got my quaternions slightly backwards, I wonder? Is this because this isn't pointing towards... Is that not pointing towards Z anymore? No, that's a bit weird. Okay, let's keep going. Fortune favours the bold. And so, okay, fine. And now let's put in the Z. Select the Clomper proxy. And Z is barely anything. Okay. So there you go. So what we're seeing on this block is what I'd expect the Clomper to look like. But it's not like that. So, okay. That's a bit weird. I'm somewhat flummoxed, everybody. I'll be honest. When the Clomper is rotating, so that's what this block here. What I've done is I've taken the rotation of the Clomper, and I've matched it with this block here, so I could see what rotation it should look like. And to be fair, the artificial horizon is following that quite nicely, but the Clomper is pointing in that direction, which is a bit weird. 28 minus 91, 0692. 28 minus and then a tiny amount on Z. How weird. How funny. So I wouldn't have expected it to be at that angle at all. Hey, there we go. Hello lab, what's this surprise theme? Remember not to move all the bugs from the game. I will not, there'll be one bug I will keep in. Thank you for the warning. So, Lord of Pizza, if you want to shove a car off a cliff, you're welcome to. But it's not really a design technique if you are actually trying to build cars, I think. Aaron, please, no. Hats are not a sign of a quality product. Do not make Matt worse. I've I've known him for a very long time. And Juriska, you're absolutely right, Quaternions are weird. You know, so this is people ask me about motivation quite a lot, so I'm going to take this opportunity now to come to an end of the stream, because I think I don't have the brain for this. It's currently 9:45 and it's the end of a long day, and this has been a wonderful first stream. Thank you so much everyone for joining in. It's been wonderful to have you on board. I do wish to do it again when the house is quiet, which it has been, and I'll hopefully fix this bug, but I think I need to be fresh for doing this. So rather than struggling on, getting frustrated, and then next time I come to code think, oh, I've got this horrible bug, I'll leave it fresh before I'm frustrated, and I'll just think, oh, a fresh head will be the thing that I'll be able to work out what it is when I'm fresh. So thank you very much everybody. Thank you all coming. Oh, Kuma, it's good to see you at the end. Oh, Garrett, hello Garrett. Good Lord, all these lovely people popping in. Don't worry Kuma, we'll be doing it again. I didn't really advertise this one, and I gave everyone no warning whatsoever, and I know that's terrible, but yeah, I'll give people more warning next time, as much as I have. So thank you very much everyone. Now I'm going to see if I've set up my stream so I get a nice ending graphic. Right, here we go. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Until then, bye bye.